Wake up, you ain't heard the news. Yes, we are back. This is the Fast Break Sports Hour special edition NFL Top 10 Power Rankings. Fast Breaks Top 10 Power Rankings. We had some movement. Here we go. Top 10. Let's start at number 10. And when you look at number 10, I had them much higher at the beginning of the season. Obviously, we're so early on, but preseason status, I had them pretty high. I had them in my top 5, but they're still in my top 10 even with the loss because they went down to New England. You know, things were looking kind of sluggish there at the beginning, but weren't able to pull it off. They lose 27-20, and my number 10 team, Houston Texans. Houston Texans, Deshaun Watson. I believe that thing's going to start going. It's going to be something where it might take a little bit of time. Again, he's coming off the ACL. They didn't have Will Fuller. So Houston Texans, number 10, that defense is going to start ratcheting it up. Again, they played Tom Brady week 1. We understand how that works. Houston Texans, number 10. At number 9, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who also dropped a couple slots. Didn't lose, but when you tie against the Browns, you don't deserve to be in the same spot. No Le'Veon Bell, I understand that. James Conner filled in pretty nicely. I still think Le'Veon Bell will provide some sort of – it's a shock factor. When you're a defense and you're trying to stop the Pittsburgh Steelers, you really got a game plan for Le'Veon Bell, which opens up a lot more of Antonio Brown, opens up a lot more of Juju, less mistakes from Big Ben. So they drop a couple spots. Pittsburgh Steelers tying the Cleveland Browns. They're at number 9. At number 8, I have the Minnesota Vikings, who jumped into the top 10. So they're one of 2 teams that jumped into the top 10 because I had 2 fall out because 2 teams in the top 10 had horrible outings. When you talk about the New Orleans Saints and you talk about the Falcons, both were in my top 10. They're now out. So 2 new teams. Minnesota Vikings are one of those teams. And Kirk Cousins did what he was supposed to do. And he outplayed Jimmy Garoppolo. Obviously, they don't go against each other when you talk about quarterbacks. But just going head-to-head, quarterback battle, man, Kirk Cousins was on point. Minnesota at home. Either way you cut it, it's a win is a win. They beat the Niners 24-16. So they jump into the top 10 at number 8. And at number 7, another team that jumped into my top 10, a new team, the Kansas City Chiefs. And as much as it hurts me to say so, it's just a fact. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was off the chain. You had Tyreek Hill, who's looking like the best receiver in football right now, can do everything. The dude's ridiculous. That offense looked ridiculous. Mahomes thrown for 4 touchdowns, no picks. They're in my top 10. Kansas City Chiefs. And if you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they didn't even use Kelsey. They didn't use Kareem Hunt. They tried, but it didn't happen. And they still were able to pull one out against the Los Angeles Chargers, who I hold in high regards. 38-28. Chiefs get into the top 10 at number 7. At number 6, so the rest of these teams, they were already in the top 10, but they moved up a little bit, or they moved slightly down, but these are all teams that stay within the top 10 that were already in the top 10. You look at my number 6 team, the Carolina Panthers. They jumped from 9 to 6. Nothing too special offensively, but defensively we're able to shut down the Dallas Cowboys, who really I don't see much going on there when you look at the offensive side. But still, a win's a win. You're in Carolina, 16-8, dominated from beginning to end. And with that, you move up a couple spots in my top 10 with a couple of teams not looking too good. You go from 9 to 6, Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton. What can you say about that? Number 5, the Green Bay Packers. It was looking grim. It was looking like this was the nail in the coffin for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers when he gets pulled off the field onto a cart looking like his knee is hurt. But I come back in the second half. I'm Aaron Rodgers. I come back in the fourth quarter. I put 3 touchdowns on the board. I'm down 20-0. I end up beating the Chicago Bears 24-23. Man, Aaron Rodgers, best quarterback in the league. I don't care what nobody says. They're number 5. They move up a spot. At number 4, Jacksonville Jaguars. They move up a couple spots as well because I think it's an impressive win against the New York Giants on the road. And 20-15, that's the way Jacksonville Jaguars is going to get down. It's a defensive game. They have big plays on the defensive side. Gave up a big play to Saquon Barkley. Gave up a big game against Odell Beckham. But other than that, we're able to keep the Giants out of the end zone for most of the game. 20-15. That's a great defensive effort, especially how I see the New York Giants going into the season. I thought it was a big win, and they continue to win in ways the way they do things. Jacksonville Jaguars are number 4. At number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. And you like, man, didn't they win? Weren't they number 1? They used to be number 1, but I don't like the way they played on Thursday. I don't like the situation they're put in right now. I'm not going to kick them out of the top 10. They won. They won. A win is a win. They're the defending champions, but I'm going to drop you from 1 to 3 because I'm not too impressed with the actual gameplay. I'm not too impressed with Nick Foles, and you have to wonder if Carson Wentz, if and when he's going to be ready, and when he comes back, how ready is he going to be, and what difference is he going to make for this team who defensively has everything, but offensively has some questions, especially at the receiver position. So you have to wonder, are they going to make any moves when it comes to adding receiver depth, or are they just going to wait for Alshon to come back and hope he's old Alshon? So Philadelphia, defending champions, still in the top 3, but not number 1. Dropped from 1 to 3. At number 2, I talked about this team, talking about moving up from 3. Now they're at number 2. The Los Angeles Rams, impressive yesterday. Started off slow in the first half against the Oakland Raiders, but in the second half showed why they're a favorite to get to the Super Bowl by outscoring the Raiders 23-0 in the second half and demolishing the Raiders 33-13 in every form, every fashion. Weren't able to stop the tight end, but when you talk about being able to stop Marshawn Lynch in the second half, Derek Carr threw 3 picks, and Todd Gurley still Todd Gurley. Jared Goff, no mistakes, steady. Rams looking good to go. They're number 2. And at number 1, man, the AFC champions, Tom Brady, the New England Patriots. To me, it's a big win against the Houston Texans because I had the Houston Texans in my top 5, which are now at number 10 if you watch this from the beginning. So they were able to beat the Texans. They was at home. They won 27-20, but to me, the game wasn't even that close. It looked like they had this game in the bag pretty early. Texans score late. They're able to make it close. But Tom Brady's Tom Brady. Yeah, he threw an interception, but other than that, he's doing it with backup receivers, with receivers that other teams don't want. Chris Hogan, not too bad, but you look at Philip Dorsett, and then I can't name one after that, man. Cordell Patterson, they actually picked up 2 receivers. When you look at Corey Coleman and Benny Fowler, we'll see what kind of impact they make. Still got Gronk. Sony Michel be coming back real soon. New England Patriots, number 1. Check it out next week to see where we're at when it comes to Fast Breaks, Power Rankings, Top 10 NFL style. Thank you for joining me. I'm out.